Good evening and wonderful to follow Mr. Avisan, where he brought the energy of the city and whatever we symbolize in so many ways, and also finished with connectivity to what else we need. When we thought about the structure of this event, we were thinking of the flow, and naturally there was a need for us to set the context. And Mr. Ravisam was supposed to welcome us, and naturally the leader of the show, Prashant, is to present Coimbatore next, and Arjun will present the context of industry today. And then the question came, what will I do? And the question was easily answered with, what was Coimbatore? What has been Coimbatore and the Coimbatore of the past? As somebody who's very passionate about history, heritage of the city, I'll just take you in a few minutes through this journey, because we felt for Coimbatore at next, unless we understand where we came from, who we are as a people, as a culture, it's very difficult for us to move on. The Coimbatore so far was the topic given for me, but the Coimbatore so far, naturally we are not Tanjavur, we are not the ancient capitals of India, we are not the metropolis of India, but we are a wonderful cosmopolis. And I thought in my journey of the last 15 years, trying to understand the history, study the history of this city, of this culture, of all of us, I just take you through a quick ride of what I think has been the story so far. But I think it has been an enterprising past. The past has been very enterprising. Of course, there is a lot of archaeology, history, which I will talk about. But what is, I think, extraordinarily relevant is to remember that this past is our past, a sort of past that we all created. Talking about our city, we know its recent history, but we shouldn't forget that Coimbatore is a home. Coimbatore is the human capital of the Western Ghats. We all think about the Himalayas, the holiest of places, the tallest of peaks, but the Nilgiris is amongst the oldest of mountain ranges in this country and is a biodiversity hotspot for the world. And I think this is our greatest pride. I don't think we have the greatest of minerals. We certainly don't have petroleum. We have human capital, but our greatest strength is that we are the human capital, I would say, of the Western Ghats, of the Nilgiris and the Anamalai range. But what does this give us? This gives us a great identity. This gave us indigenous experience of what culture is, what heritage is. But I think more than all that, it gave us a survival instinct. And I say survival instinct, natural instinct to survive from the indigenous people. Today, it is also home to amongst the most diverse tribes, some of them very, very exotic. But what it reminds us is of this great strength of human capital that this region has. And I can tell you dates of what in the prehistoric age and what in the ancient age, but broadly, I think these two are the greatest of things. In the cave paintings that we see, in the fauna and flora that we find, in the fossils that have been researched, amongst the greatest of our treasures. And the ancient era, when I say the ancient era, I'm talking about 2000 years. While so many people talk about their great heritage, unfortunately, we might not have the 1,000, 2,000-year-old shrines or great monuments. But what is very important is that if you went to Rome 2,000 years ago, people would have been walking in their muslins, in their textiles very proudly. The Romans would have showcased, and guess where it came from? It came precisely from this region, and there is enough and more experience to say, enough and more proof to say that Coimbatore was a place that exported some of the best of textiles. So this is not new to us. Export is not new to us. Textile is not new to us. Working with the world is not new to us. And the second point, which I think is very special, many, many researchers have said, Roman coins are a way to find how history is found around the world. And why is this? Because now we talk about the dollar and what in dollar terms, naturally it was Roman terms that time. And in that time, we understood that very few places in the planet can boast of the fact that almost every emperor's coin is found in Coimbatore. Which means what? Naturally, they came and spent a lot of money here, but there was consistent trade. There was trade non-stop, which is very rare according to researchers. Roman coins have been found in great numbers in other places, but consistency in as close as Vellaloor, as close as Pollachi, all around city of Coimbatore, there have been great hoards of Roman coins. These two give us an understanding about Coimbatore next is not necessarily in the future alone. Coimbatore has been emerging. Mr. Avisam spoke about this a little. Confluence of people. And how did this happen? And look at the room today. You will naturally, in anywhere in the country today, you will see diversity. Diversity because of travel, because of business, because of where we study. But the diversity is extraordinary in this city. And diversity is not new to us. He said 4 generations. I think for last many generations, from the times of the Romans, people have come and gone. We have learned, we have given, we have got. I think we have to remember that the strategic positioning of this long Western Ghats from Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu to Kerala, the few gaps that give a place for people to transact, for people to trade, one of it is the Palghat Gap, gives us great weather, gives us the roads, gives us a great setting for many things, for right from Tanjavur to Madurai, to go to Muziris or Cochin, this is the place. So naturally confluence of people happened because people had to come and go and trade. So it is not the Romans came here, it is not just the people from the ports of Pumbukhar or Tanjavur came here or Muziris, everybody was interacting in this place. That was a natural blend of trade that was there for us. From that natural blend, we became a national confluence. And that national confluence happened. Today you will see many languages spoken for 4th or 5th generation here. This is not new to us. There is always a confusion on what is that, and maybe that Inga is the common aspect of what brings us together. I think we have to remember that there is a fantastic strategic positioning where many people in South India feel that Coimbatore is not alien to them or is not new to them. And an international aspect as well. Coimbatore businesses for 3 generations in the modern times have worked with the world. It is not new to us for strategic partnerships. It is very important for us to understand that going global maybe is part of Coimbatore next in a big, big way, but it has always been there. What we also have to remember is we emerged from limitations. While I spoke about Tanjavur and Madurai and other great capitals, water, rivers, abundance, seaports, access to them was fantastic. We did not have anything. In 1902, in the British Gazette, Coimbatore is stated as not fit for any further development. And the reasons quoted was no natural resources, no water. And guess what? What did Coimbatorians do? We did not move. We did not go settle somewhere else. We did not naturally go invest in real estate somewhere else. We brought water. And along with water came Paikara, power came. And these two were big, big changes, led to the industrialization with the British advent, with the greats of Robert Staines and so many people, came textile and engineering. Due to textile came engineering, and due to engineering came so many other things. So emergence from limitations, I think, are a very important aspect. This is what I said in the last 200 years, industrialization, technological advances, connectedness of India and the world. Coimbatore emerged with mechanized textiles and engineering, and later Arjun naturally will talk about a lot related to what is happening today. But this is the context. What are the factors behind this reality? I think both of us, right from Dr. Vinu, Mr. Avisam, and me, we've sort of stressed on some of these things. We have geographical positioning advantages. The nature, the weather, the trade routes are our fantastic strengths. Finite resources are our limitations, but guess what? It inspires us. We don't have many things, and hence we had to build those things ourselves. This led to that instinctiveness of innovation. The fact that we did not have things in excess, we really had to move on. Enterprising spirit is also something that comes out of it, and you know, and many of us know here, how somebody came, a granduncle came, a great-grandfather came, and a cousin came, and the second cousin came, and the village came, and so many things have happened. And it's not only the city of Coimbatore, the region of Coimbatore developed because of this enterprising spirit, whatever we do. Like many places, people would say differently, but here we would say, due to Coimbatore enterprise, you can be born in a wonderful place, and you can even go away in a wonderful place. Almost everything is entrepreneurially created here. Confluence of ethnicities is what we spoke. We have had many, many people coming, and today if I look at the audience, I see a lot of other professionals who have come into the city and made it their home, and thanks to the education institutions, a whole host of people around the country think of Coimbatore as their second home. And the last aspect is very important. A culture of excellence. There are visitors, 2 special visitors of course, or 3 special visitors, and for them I want to say this culture of excellence is something that we strive from our home, from our dining tables, from the factories, from everything that we do, and we want to learn more, and hence we also want to listen to you to understand how to take this further. The next, and Coimbatore moves on. I want to finish by saying it's very important to understand history, but history is just a pedestal. It gives us an identity, it gives us an address of where we came, but what is very important is to understand where we are today. And to move into that, into more current realities, into more understanding about where we are, and setting the ground for Coimbatore next, I invite Arjun to take on. Thank you very much.